fellow oddities, welcome to a new video. Today, I'm going to be doing a video that has been very highly requested, and that's ranking every single one of Johnny Cage's designs from worst to best. Honestly, I have no idea how I haven't done this video sooner. I guess I just kind of forgot because, I don't know, I just don't think of Johnny Cage as being one of those characters with lots of cool, unique, and different designs. It's mostly the same thing every time, but this was very highly requested by you guys, so I'm gonna do it. He's also one of the only major Mortal Kombat 1 characters that I haven't covered yet. Shang Tsung will be coming soon, at some point. I think he's the last one I haven't done, besides Goro, but I don't think Goro has enough unique designs to warrant a video for him. But anyways, for anyone who hasn't seen this series before, let's reiterate the rules. The first rule is that I'll only be taking designs from Mortal Kombat games, which means no comics, movies, or cartoons, or other games like WWE Immortals. I don't know why Johnny is in that, but he is. The second rule is that I will not be taking any repeated or reused designs, which means no recreated classic costumes from the later games, and nothing from Mortal Kombat Armageddon, or something like Mortal Kombat X's tournament costume, because that's pretty much the same thing as Mortal Kombat 9 costume. You guys probably get it. The third rule is for Mortal Kombat 11 only, and it's that I will only be taking designs from the story mode, because Mortal Kombat 11 has a lot of designs that just are not worth talking about. And the fourth and final rule is that I will not be taking any designs from Mortal Kombat Mobile. And that's it. That's all I have to say. Anyways, without further ado, Johnny Cage has 17 designs, so let's get straight into it. In last place at number 17, I have his Mortal Kombat X Brazil skin. This is just another gimmicky design that isn't really supposed to be the character represented in any way. It's not supposed to say anything about the character. It's just a random design slapped onto him, supporting the Brazil soccer team, or football, if you're not from the good old US of A. So I'm going to put it in last place because there's just nothing really to talk about. It's a soccer outfit. At number 16, this might shock some people, but I have his Mortal Kombat 11 past outfit. I do not like this costume because it's just way too vibrant and there's too much stuff going on. There's too many colors. I don't like Johnny having like this blue and purple jacket. I just think that's too much and doesn't really fit the character. If they were going to go for a past design, then they should have just given him his classic outfit, which is in the game, so they should have just done that, but instead they gave him this weird unnecessary jacket that's like purple and blue, and his whole design is like purple, blue. There's just too many different colors, and I don't like that. I think Johnny honestly is one of those characters that should just have like kind of muted colors in a way, because I just don't think it really blends well to have these different colors along with his abilities, which are green, and Johnny doesn't really wear green, so I understand why they wouldn't give him that, but just having all these different colors just doesn't really mesh with his powers or just the design as a whole. Also, it's associated with a very annoying version of Johnny, and that brings it down a few points because MK11 past Johnny is just unnecessarily irritating. At number 15, I have a quite disappointing outfit, and that's mainly why it's so low. It's the Mortal Kombat X Commando, or the Predator skin for Johnny Cage. This one is disappointing because if you compare it to the other Predator skin from Mortal Kombat X, no, not that one. We don't talk about that one. No, I mean the Carl Weathers Jack skin. That one had Carl Weathers doing the voice for the skin, and it also kind of changed his face a bit, but this one, it's just Johnny Cage in like a generic military outfit, which is boring. Like, I understand it's supposed to kind of represent the main character of Predator, Arnold Schwarzenegger's character, and obviously Arnold Schwarzenegger is a much bigger star than Carl Weathers, so it's going to be hard to get him to do the voice or any face capture or anything, which I don't even think was a thing in Mortal Kombat X, but I still think they should have done something to make it more resemble that character from the movie instead of just making it Johnny Cage but in a military outfit, because that's boring. At number 14, I have the Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance design. Now, I don't know if this is controversial, but I have it here because first of all, he's blonde, and I do not like Johnny Cage being blonde. That is weird. And also, he has this weird like door knocker on his belt, on the front of his belt. It's like a lion door knocker. That's kind of weird, but worst of all is that he has like this giant tattoo on his back, and that's weird. Like, if Johnny's gonna have tattoos, it should be the chest tattoo that says Johnny, because that's cool. This is just like trying to be cool, but it isn't. I also think there's too much gold on it with the door knocker, like I said, but also on the arm wraps and just around the belt in general. And by the way, that's just the upper half of the design. It gets much worse with the lower half, which just completely does not fit the rest of it at all. Like, maybe if it was a Mortal Kombat 1 or Mortal Kombat 2 design, then this exposed wrapped feet look would work, sorta, kinda, not really. But with this design especially, it just looks awful and doesn't fit at all the rest of the design. So I'm going to put this pretty low on the list, which is weird for a Deadly Alliance design, because I feel like Deadly Alliance usually has pretty good outfits, but not in this case. Now at number 13, I have a design I actually just talked about, Mortal Kombat 1. Now the problem with this is that it's just not really what we've come to know as Johnny Cage. It was a very early on design, so it's kind of just the main character from Bloodsport, but instead of a yellow sash, he has a red one. What a difference. It doesn't have the sunglasses, at least not in gameplay, no hand wraps, no chest tattoo, no shin guards, or anything we've come to know for Johnny Cage, and that's my problem, is that it just doesn't really scream anything about his character. It doesn't say, oh, this guy has a very big ego, or, oh, this guy was a Hollywood actor, or something like that. It's just kind of a generic martial artist design, and that's it. It's just too plain. Nothing really sticks out about it, and that's why I have Mortal Kombat 1 so low. And to be fair, this was the first game, so I can't be too harsh on it. Later games, of course, built upon this. At number 12, I have the Mortal Kombat 11 present design. Now, I don't really like these kind of Johnny Cage designs where they have the like just casual outfits and stuff. I mean, this one's more of a militaristic kind of vest and black shirt design, but I just don't really find these appealing. I don't really see why people would gravitate towards this instead of something like the Mortal Kombat 2 design or the Mortal Kombat 4 design, or just something a bit more flashy. This one's kind of boring. I even remember when the Mortal Kombat 11 Johnny Cage trailer came out, I was just like, oh, that's basically just like his Mortal Kombat X design, but slightly more militaristic and generic. Dang. It was just kind of a disappointment, and yes, there are other costumes in the game that more represent what I like about Johnny Cage, but we can't really talk about those ones because they're not in the story mode. This is the Johnny Cage we have, this is the default outfit, and I'm not a fan. Same problem with number 11, the Mortal Kombat X hotshot design. This is pretty similar to his Mortal Kombat 11 final design, but it just doesn't have the black shirt underneath, and I think it fits Johnny Cage's character a little more. It's also a little more of a vibrant green, which is weird to say about Mortal Kombat X, but it's just better. A better version of his Mortal Kombat 11 design, in my opinion. But let's get to the design at number 10 that started this whole casual, generic, military-like Johnny Cage design, and that is Mortal Kombat X, where he just kind of had like a hoodie and a shirt, and you know, that was it. And people are fans of the design. It was even the design used in Battle of the Realms, which I hate that movie, but clearly people are somewhat of a fan of it if it was used in that movie, just like how the Scorpion Mortal Kombat X design was used in Scorpion's Revenge, and also Battle of the Realms, and all the Legends movies besides Snowblind. I know in that one he had a more Mortal Kombat 11 looking design, but we're getting off track. Let's not do that. But yeah, while I do like the more muted colors to kind of make the green vibrancy of his powers more contrasting, just it looks cooler when he's like just kind of a normal guy and then boom, he blasts into vibrant green and all that stuff. I like that part. I like the more everyman look, but I just think it's a bit too everyman. It's just too, wow, this is something I'd see a random person wearing on the street. Like, no, I think he should have some flashy elements of his design, but not be like too flashy like the Deadly Alliance design or the Mortal Kombat 11 past design. But that's pretty much the last design that I would say I'm not a fan of. From now on, these are designs that I think are pretty cool. And at number 9, I have the Mortal Kombat 2 design. Now, this is pretty low, like, if you compare it to other people's opinions. Like, most people have this a bit higher, top 5, but I don't think it's top 5 because there's 2 problems. One is something you're going to hear me say a lot, and that there's no chest tattoo. Now, yes, this was a very early on version of Johnny. This design element wasn't featured until way later in the series, but I still think it's probably one of the most building design elements added to a character in Mortal Kombat. It just adds so much personality, so much character to these designs, and I think just going back on it, like, the design looks empty when you don't have that. But the second thing that is missing from this design are the sunglasses. Now, he wears them, like, I think in his victory poses, but he doesn't actually wear them in the gameplay, and that kind of sucks because, I don't know, the gameplay is where you're going to be seeing him the most, and I don't know, I just think you should have Johnny Cage wear sunglasses at all times instead of just sometimes. That's my opinion. But other than that, this is a very great base Johnny Cage design that features a lot of things that were building upon his Mortal Kombat 1 design and would be featured for the rest of the series, which you can say for a lot of the designs in Mortal Kombat 2. So I do like it, but there's just some things missing that I would have added if we went back in time and I was the maker of Mortal Kombat 2. If I was Ed Boon and John Tobias, not like both of them merged into one person or anything. No, I'm just saying, like, if I were the creator of Mortal Kombat 2, that's what I would do. I made it weird, but let's just move on. At number 8, I have the Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance alternate design. Now, I like this one because he's in a tuxedo, and that shows a lot of character because he's a celebrity, he's a Hollywood actor, and I think that is very great for his character. And I also like it when this design is kind of represented as like his pre-Mortal Kombat 1 design. Like, this is what he wore most of the time. This is like kind of what he wore on the boat and just going into Mortal Kombat 1, but as he becomes more of a fighter, he wears his other designs, and I like that aspect. I like this one being his more casual look. Of course, people don't wear tuxedos just all the time, but like, I just like the design as like a Johnny Cage before all the Mortal Kombat shenanigans. Now, technically, this is just the Mortal Kombat 4 alternate design, but he has blonde hair in this one. As I said earlier, I do not like blonde hair, so if we move on to number 7, I have the Mortal Kombat 4 alternate design, where he has brown hair, and that is the superior Johnny Cage. And yeah, basically everything I just said about Deadly Alliance applies to Mortal Kombat 4, so yeah. Great design, I like it for what it is. I wouldn't want it as like a base Johnny Cage design, but I think it's pretty cool as just a concept. At number 6, just barely not getting into the top 5, which is kind of crazy for a design like this, I have the Mortal Kombat X Ninja Mime outfit. I really like this. It shows, once again, a lot of character. Obviously, I wouldn't want it as a base Johnny Cage design, which I think is why it's not in the top 5, but I just think it's super, super cool how they got a character from one of Johnny Cage's movies, his most popular movie, I guess, and then they just brought it into the game, and I think they should do that with like his future designs. Like, I don't know, just have him wear stuff he wears in movies. I think that'd be pretty cool, instead of him just wearing generic casual outfits or just repeats of previous outfits. Like, I don't know, if they do the gear system or the skin system thing they had in Mortal Kombat 11 in Mortal Kombat 12, I want to see some of Johnny Cage's movie outfits in the game, along with other costumes that aren't weird. I don't know, just mix of normal Johnny Cage designs and weird Johnny Cage designs that can be him from the movies. That's what I meant to say. Also, I'd like to honorably mention the Mortal Kombat 11 Ninja Mime design, which I actually think is better than the Mortal Kombat X version. I couldn't include it on this list because it's not in story mode and I don't want to break my own rules. And also, if I added it at the last second, it would mess up the whole list and make it so there's 18 designs instead of 17, and I have to like push back all the designs by one, and that would suck. So yeah, not including it on the list, but Ninja Mime, Mortal Kombat 11, is good. I like it. Better than MKX version. Mostly because it's more saturated, which is the problem I have with the Ninja Mime design in MKX, is that I think it should be more saturated. I think it should be more colorful, because, I mean, yeah, it's a mime, and they're supposed to be black and white, but the black isn't completely black, and the white isn't completely white in this design. Like, there's shades of brown in there, and I don't like that. That's weird. But anyways, let's move on to the top 5. At number 5, I have the Mortal Kombat 9 alternate costume. This is very similar to the Mortal Kombat 4 and Deadly Alliance alternate costume, but they add even more personality and character to it by making it a different color. It's now like purple-ish and pink, and I think that's pretty neat. Yeah, and they also make it so that the tie is like not tied, and so it's kind of just flapping around, and I think that's also pretty cool, and it adds a lot of character. It makes him look like he just got back from a movie premiere and he's just sick and tired of all the press and paparazzi invading on his privacy and his life, and he just looks so out of it. You know, you can see it on his face, like he's just so not there. But anyways, yeah, pretty cool design. I have it at number 5. But let's get on to the more traditional Johnny Cage designs in the next top 4. Number 4, I have the Mortal Kombat trilogy design. Now, I like this one more than something like Mortal Kombat 2 because, first of all, sunglasses, very important for the character, and he has it in gameplay this time, which is awesome. But also, I think there's just more design elements that I'm more of a fan of. You can kind of see a bit more, I guess. Like, there's more detail within the shin pads and the shoes, and also the arm gauntlet things that he has, and I think that's just much better than Mortal Kombat 2, which wasn't as detailed. It was just kind of, I don't know, solid colors, stuff like that. Not really any intricate designs. Intricate. There, I can speak. And you can just see when you put them side by side that Mortal Kombat Trilogy is kind of just a better version of the Mortal Kombat 2 design. And that's okay. I mean, games are supposed to build upon each other, so yeah. Mortal Kombat Trilogy, number 4. And at number 3, breaking the top 3, I have Mortal Kombat 4. Now, this is a very similar design to the one I just talked about, but I think it's just a bit more clean. It just kind of knows more what it wants to be. Like the previous one, while it was much more detailed than Mortal Kombat 2, there was kind of just a bit of a messy feel to it when you looked at the armor, the gauntlets, the shin guards and stuff like that. And I think this design just kind of streamlined it a bit and kind of made it just like Johnny Cage. Like when you think of just classic Johnny Cage, I think this is the design you think of. You don't think of trilogy because there's just too many intricacies and details and stuff like that. I almost messed up details and stuff in it. And then in Mortal Kombat 2, there's not enough detail, and I think this design just kind of fit right in the middle of those two, and it just kind of made the whole thing look like Johnny Cage, and that is good. Another thing that this design adds is the white stripes or like lines going down his pants, and I like that. I like it when Johnny Cage has like something on his pants besides like the shin guards and the belt and stuff like that. I like it when there's like stuff on it and just little details that kind of make it pop more interesting. And I especially like the white lines. I think that's super cool, and I think, you know, there's stuff you could do with that, and I like how they brought it back in Mortal Kombat 11. That is awesome. That also brings me to the number 2 spot, the Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks design. I really like this one. It's mostly the same thing as the Mortal Kombat 4 design. There are just a bit more details and stuff added into it, and I also just like the hair design and how everything looks just a bit better. It looks a bit smoother. The belt I especially like a bit more than how it looks in Mortal Kombat 4, but I also wanted to mention that Johnny Cage wears Adidas. Also, another thing is that in-game, the design looks a bit different. It has like these blue stripes going down the pants, and I like that. I think it looks cool. cooler than how it looks in MK4 with the stripes. Those are cool, but I think this one is even cooler. But there's one thing missing from these two designs that the number 1 spot does have, and that is the Johnny Cage tattoo. And in fact, the number 1 spot is the design that introduced this Johnny Cage tattoo, and that is the Mortal Kombat 9 default outfit. Now, yes, some people have said that the blue on this outfit is not as saturated or as vibrant as they would want, but like I said earlier, I think I like it a little bit more when Johnny Cage doesn't have super vibrant other colors than green, because when he does turn green and when he uses his powers, I think it just looks kind of weird because now there's two completely different contrasting colors, and I'm not a fan of that. It just doesn't mesh well to my eyes, and I just don't like it. But this design kind of mutes the blue a little bit, and I think that just looks better. It also has blue stripes going down the pants, which I think is the best of both worlds between the Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks and the Mortal Kombat 4 design. I think that's awesome. And obviously there's the Johnny Cage chest tattoo, which, like I said earlier, a big development for this design and is the main reason why it's number 1. But also as the Cage belt, and I think that's the best belt he's ever had, better than the Door Knocker or anything else he's had. And I just think this design is great. And I also like how high up the hand wraps go. Lots of personality. And, you know, I just think this is a nice, simple Johnny Cage design. And I think this is the best one he's ever had, obviously as his number 1. But it's just like, it's just the best Johnny Cage design. It's just the definitive Johnny Cage in my eyes. And that's why it's here at number 1. And I think it takes everything from the previous designs and mixes it all together and takes all the good things, takes out the bad things, and also adds some of its own little things that I think are super cool. And I just don't think there's anything about this design to necessarily be super angry about. I think it's a very, very good Johnny Cage design, and that's why it's here at number 1. I think it deserves a spot. But yeah, make sure to tell me who the next character should be. That's it for this video. I think, I don't know, Shang Tsung is one of them. I also do need to cover more female characters, so Katana and Melina definitely on my list. But you know what? At the end of the day, it's what you guys want. So make sure to comment down below. I'll probably put up a poll at some point in the next few weeks, days, probably when this video comes out. I don't know, just whenever I feel like it, I'll put out a poll of just some of the characters, and also I'll include an other poll category so that if you want to choose a different character that's not on that poll, then you can choose that, because that's how polls work. But yeah, as of this video, my fellow oddities, make sure you subscribe, hit the like button if you like the video, make sure to turn on the notification bell if you subscribe, and set it to all notifications so you get notified every single time I upload a new video. Comment down below your thoughts on this video, comment your rankings of the Johnny Cage designs, and yeah, that's it. Yes, I know, it's very hectic, it's very chaotic, but, you know, I just returned to YouTube, so, like, what can you expect? Don't worry, it'll get more, what's the word? Organized, as I get used to being here more in front of this camera. But yeah, that's it for this video, my fellow oddities. See you next time.